welcome back to episode 2. Mousetrap is on your screen. And in this episode we're going build some awesome mouse traps and also some awesome scenery. This is so cringe. Yeah, it's true. Yes, super cringy. It's so true. So stay seated, grab a drink and a snack and watch episode 2. Alright, back to business with all this crap singing. Your ears must be bleeding by now. So, in episode 1, we finished with the chain lift after the mice got burned alive. So the chain lift leads up, it makes a left-hand turn, and now we're building a trick track, or like a trapdoor here. We're also going to be building so many more traps in this episode, but we start at the top, and on this section we're building a trick track. And in episode 1 you've seen I've made trick tracks, which is literally a copy of the wooden wild mouse track. And if you attach that to a moving object, you can move the track without the train going over it. So you can trick a car to go one way, but in all reality, like in this case, the floor just drops out and the car actually falls down. So what I'm wanting to make here is a trapdoor, so it looks like you naturally go over rocks or soil in this case, and then all of a sudden the soil disappears and you sink in the ground and you fall into one of the traps made by the humans. Bastards. It took a little while to find out how I was going to make this blend in with the rocks, but it worked out really well and I'm very happy with the way this turned out. If you want to know how to make all this stuff, stick around and you'll be able to see me make this as well. And also in the future I will be making a animation tutorial. I've had a couple of people requesting this by now. So pretty much what I'll do in that tutorial is I'll show you how to use the animation pieces on making specific door, like hinges and trapdoors like you see here, as well as some more advanced techniques that you see in episode 1. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we made all these traps that you just saw there in episode 1. If you want to check it out, highly recommend it. Yeah, there's some really advanced animation in there, but other than that, this is kind of the rough idea. This is what we have so far. Then I made these trick tracks that you see there, but then I realized I can't actually attach blueprints to these stupid animation pieces. I really hope Planet Coaster or Frontier introduces this feature in the future. Feature in the future. You know what I mean. The whole idea is to have this trick track pull out from in front of the cart and then the floor sink in. And animating this was a little bit tricky, but with some triggers and some proper timing, it worked out well. And the full animation looks like this. Ta-da! I mean, that's just amazing, isn't it? After the drop, I wanted to create a little bit of coaster track, just to give me some leeway on what to build for the drop, what to do afterwards. So yeah, here's a little bit of track that I built. Nothing is permanent, and as you know by now, I often build things and then delete it if I feel like it doesn't flow well. So this is what it looks like. Those bastard humans have been placing down rat poison all over the place. Or mice poison, I guess. Rat poison? I guess it's the same. Here, look. Placing it down right there. Pouring poison into the trap. How inconvenient. I thought it would be a cool idea to have the ground sink away and as you fall down you end up in a pile of rat poison. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Then I installed some more rocks. Placed down some more rocks. And the poor mouse Oh, may he rest in pieces. I mean, he's still whole, but you get the idea. Pretty dead to me. But it would be really cool, like when the floor sinks out under you and you fall into that trap made by the bloody humans, the bastards. That you end up in a pile of poison and then you nearly escape that. Pretty much the whole idea of the coaster is nearly escaping death over and over again as a mouse. Pretty savage if you ask me. But I think it would be really cool. I'll put down some more poison right there. And as you exit the trap, you make a right hand turn and you'll see soon that will turn that into a little poison deposit, I guess. Some mouse have unfortunately not survived. So after placing down some more rocks, this is what we have so far. Like I said before, I'm never really happy with the layout. I always end up changing things, and I was doing an on-ride just to see the flow of the coaster, and I was not happy with the flow, so I changed it a little bit. I made a little like right-hand spiral on the right, and that took away so much speed, so I end up deleting that and just connecting it. Then I started working on the poison deposit, like what I talked about. So you fall into the trapdoor, and then once you're out of the trapdoor, you enter into a like poison deposit. But some of the poison from the top there that we built has been falling down and fell into a little pond with water, and it had stained the pond blue. And I had a cool idea on how to make this pond look blue. But first I surrounded it with some rocks. After I played down the rocks, I worked a little bit on that hill section where you go up and over the rocks and then turn to the right and then come back out again. I had a really cool idea of what I wanted to make here, but it was hard to find the right rocks. But I wanted to make a little secondary mouse nest here. So once it pops over there, you see me placing a rock down at the top, and then I pause the screen to make sure there's no clipping. And then I surround it by rocks to get a little outline of how big it was going to be. But I wanted this to be a little secondary mouse nest, so there's gotta be some grains here and some like mouse beds and some food. So you go in the nest and then you pop out again. So it's like, I want this to become a thing throughout my coaster where you go in and out the mouse nests and try to dodge all the mouse traps and stuff. So I placed this rock down in the center, so it's like a little circular looping mouse nest, I guess. Yeah, this is what it looks like. Whee! Super exciting. Bring the poison! Murderous humans. So the poison had fallen into the water and I installed these blue panels. If you sink them in a little bit, it tinges the water blue, like you see here. Very cool. I love this effect, and it just looks so much better than the normal water panels. And then you sink in some like poison pellets, like you see there. Yeah, and the water looks so much more bluer now. And then obviously we needed a dead mouse. So this poor little fella has drank some of the poison, and he's just passed out there. Probably tripping. And also placed down some blue deposits. So these like tropical, what do you call them, aquatic rocks. They are recolorable, so you can turn them white and it could function as snow if you want to. But I turned them blue here and it functions as poison. This is what it looks so far. I decided to build a custom bridge here because if I use the supports of this coaster, it just looks so ugly. So I placed down some wooden beams and then built the coaster support. And then I was also gonna build a trap underneath for the track there that you can see. So yeah, after fiddling around a little bit, which was very bloody painful to build this support, not very good at it, I don't really care, I think it will do the trick. But yeah, after all that building, this is what the supports look like. For some reason it didn't record the sound, so here's my attempt on making the sound effects for this.
Nice.
Very accurate. Place down some wooden planks, some of these crappy broken ones. It fits well, and it just fits well. And because it fits well, it fits nice. So I just put it in, just like that. Get out of here, Bob Ross. And also place down some fences. It just makes the bridge look more finished. Very happy with this. So here's a quick spawn snappy build from this, I guess. Not really messing around here. All I did was covering up the area, you know, the starting part with the little bedroom and the storage room, covering them up with rocks. This is what it looks like after that is done. And then I also placed down some rocks underneath the chain lift that goes up there. This was quite tricky because I had to find the right rock size so that it doesn't poke out through the rocks into the right behind the wall. You just keep seeing me poking down there and having a look, make sure that's not clipping. Then I had a really cool idea. You know these traps that I made in episode 1? Make sure you check it out if you haven't already. But this first trap that you see in the board game as well, these are pretty much 2 rotating gears, kind of gears like. You see me building on this a little bit, but I thought how cool would it be if I use these 2 gears to activate the trapdoor. So instead of it having this chain reaction like in a board game, I've got to have these pieces from the board game activate extra traps on the actual coaster. So in this case, these 2 gears are not triggering or like gearing up to make the boot kick, which is what it originally does in the board game. In this game, it's gearing up and it's going to activate the trapdoor. Pretty cool. This is what it looks like. Then I had a cool idea of if I extended this 1 gear a little bit and connect them with a lever, like in the board game you have to wind up a lever to set the trap off. But if I connect this lever to another gear, it makes it look like a little bit of a rotation engine looking thing that winds up the trapdoor. You'll see here. As you can see, I sank it in. It looks like it's winding it up, like on the board game. And then I attach another wheel to it. And that makes it look really cool. And this is what the end result is for the trap. Obviously this will all be triggered when the car approaches, that it starts rotating. Then I also thought, you know what, I know the board game has the traps and we made the traps already, but what if I give my twist about it and also add my own personal traps? So I call this the head chopper, the guillotine mouse destroyer 2000. Very nice. It's pretty much once the car comes by, a big X swings from left to right and it almost misses you. Quite like it. If you've seen Temple Run, you see, or Temple Dash, you see that I've made these X's as well. But because all the traps are made from red and yellow, I decided to make a little red X. Homemade. Very nice. Not very sharp, but it will do the trick. Quite nice. This is the end result. Obviously, it needs a little bit of polishing and it's a little bit of a rough idea, but this is the end result. If you want to know what it looks on the on-ride, stick around. I'll have an on-ride later on. Oh, I'm rather gassy today. All these random farts. The next trap that I was going to make is also a bit savage. This trap is pretty much a stone door that opens up as you approach. And if you don't approach fast enough, you pretty much smash into the wall. And as you'll see later on, some mouse have accidentally went in too fast and smashed into a gazillion pieces. Quite barbaric. Poor mouse. Anyway, this is kind of the concept. As you can see here, I'm playing around to seeing if the car actually fits through. And it does. It all works out well. I also had some blood spatters and a dead mouse on the side. Like I said, quite barbaric. And yes, you can see I literally have taken the ligament of this mouse and put it on the side. Oh, so brutal. Talking about brutal, I have another brutal idea. I've got to use the coaster car to activate this trap and accidentally kick a mouse, maybe in some poison. I don't know. I feel bad. I also don't. It's fun. Then the another annoying thing that happened is I had to recreate a mouse because, of course, I couldn't attach blueprints to rotating scenery pieces. So I had to remake it while it was attached to this stupid rotating thing. I think I did pretty well. After programming the mouse, as you can see here, it's just doing some backflips and building the poison deposit. This is the end result of the trap. Tell my family I love them. Oops. The next step was to change a little bit of coaster again, like every single step. I change coaster every time. But here I did a little loop and I wanted the lift hill to go back that way, being the reason why I changed it again, I guess. This is what it looks like now. Then I had my once in a blue moon high IQ moments where I thought of something genius. All these coaster supports from the track upstairs, they just came through and ruined the scenes below. But then I was like, how can I prevent this from coming through the rocks? With pathing. So I placed down some invisible paths and solved the problem. I also worked a little bit on the inside of the second mouse hole. After the door opens, which has the dead mouse in front that lost his paw, pretty much. This was going to be a second mouse hole, and I just placed down some props, some seeds, an apple core and some hay. It looks quite nice. And then after that I played a little bit with the lighting, because in Planet Coaster 2, if you have a secluded area fully covered, it is actually dark. So you're gonna have to put lights down. In Planet Coaster 1 this wasn't a thing, but with the new Planet Coaster 2 the lighting mechanics are so much better. So it's actually dark inside, even though it's light outside. And that's great. So I placed down some lights and blended all together. This ball trap that I made, which is pretty much the middle trap that activates the bathtub, I thought it would be a cool idea to have it right there as you go up from the chain lift, and you made a little right hand turn to go up the second chain lift for like the biggest part of the coaster. So I've placed it down there. I'm trying to cover those animation pieces because they look ugly as, and they just need to be covered. So I've placed it all down, and then I placed a bit of water on top, just like you see in the video. This gives a little bit more detail to it, and I love water pieces. I put down some fountains as well. So this is what it looks like after placing it all down. Initially I had the supports of the coaster right here, but going over the water it just looks really ugly and square. So I made some custom supports, very basic. I'm not really a realistic or custom support guy, But I even thought that the supports were ugly ass from this coaster. Just on this section, so I just made some basic wooden supports and yeah. No! If only you knew what I just said. Oh, alright, this is what happened. I had to apparently place an exit at my entry station. You know why I've got an entry and an exit station? I had to put an exit on my entry station. But because I made the station so small, I didn't have room to put an exit on my entry station. So as you can see here, I had to extend the station to then put down an exit on my entry station. It makes no sense. However, this exit was functional for just the staff so they can get out. Really, just walk through the entry station. Bloody hell. So I had to remove everything, extend my first scene, rebuild my queue and the theming of the station. Here is a quick summary of this bloody stupid process. I did a little bit more editing on the top section where the ball was rolling. I placed down some fountains. I just thought it looks really cool. No obvious reason why, but yeah. Then I placed down some more rocks to decorate the chain lift a little bit more, just so that it blends in with the rest. Then it was time for the next trap to be installed, and the next trap was going to be the bathtub trap. It's pretty much a big ball falling from top to bottom, and I had to find an idea on how to hide this animation part, this draggy thingy that you see here. So I'm hiding it underground into a wall so that you don't see it, and then the ball just looks like it's actually falling down instead of seeing that ugly animation piece, which is nice. I had the idea of the ball to drop down into a pile of red poison, and then the cloud kind of hitting your face as you walk by. I did a little bit more building on the coaster after that. I wanted to bring it up. I have a little 0G, or what do you say? I don't know what to call it. Airtime, that's it. I have a little airtime hill, I guess. And then I also placed down some more poison pellets and some of these blue rocks. Which kind of functions as a bit of a stained rocky area, I guess. So some pellets and some blue rocks. So it falls in there. And then I put down some clouds. How do you say that? Smoke bursts. Blue smoke bursts. So as the ball falls into the poison, it blows up a little bit of blue smoke, which is a little extra effect. It's very nice. This is the end result. A little bit more coaster editing. I put in a little bit of a drop. As it comes down, it goes on the side and then drops all the way down to ground level. And then it comes back up, and then it goes a little bit over the rocks, drops back down again, and comes back up again. Nice, clear instruction, I guess. Like everything, this is only temporarily. If I later on find out I don't have enough speed or something like that, I'll definitely change it. But quite like the layout of this, so yeah. Right, after all that building, this is what we ended up with. I'm very happy with the way it looks. The only thing that really annoyed me is this stupid bloody station. I had to completely move everything over. I'll show you inside. So the queue now starts on the side here instead of more to the left. Just I wanted to swirl around, so it's like a little secluded entrance to the mouse hole where they live. And I could just put lots of plants around here and trees and stuff, but that's all for the next episode, which I think might be the last episode. It's just taken a lot of time on placing down all these traps and making this trap door and inside here. It's just taken a lot of time. So that might be 4 episodes. It might just be 2 or 3. But it really depends. So guests will go here, they'll walk around here, and I come into here. I obviously have to do something about this. Yeah, I have to do something about these supports, but that's fine for now. Might just put a rock here and move the mouse, or leave as is, but I'll make a sign here, something like that. And now this is all covered. I haven't put any lights down yet, but that's quite alright. So this is where you now this is now where you enter. You still have a similar layout, so you got the mouse here saying the humans have been placing traps again, watch out. You're walking around here. This will obviously be with lights here. I will put seats here, all that sort of stuff, some hay. This will all be covered as well. The only exit will be this area here, so it will all be dark in here, which will be nice. And now, so the issue was is that the sorry, I can't ignore that burp. It was really fucking good. The coaster station was too short, and apparently with an exit and an entry station, you still need an exit point on the enter station, because the staff goes out of there, which is to me absolute bollocks, because the staff can just go out of this path even though there's like people queued up. But no, they need an exit. So this is the setup that it is now: entry and exit, and then exit here. So guests come off here, the car goes around and then stops here where it is currently there, and then guests will enter from here. And then when staff needs to rotate, they come out of here and then they walk down to the exit. Kind of weird, but so this is all still the same like in episode 1. I had to extend the station a little bit, move the door, and completely move all of this theming here. I mean, you don't even see this, but I will definitely like add some theming here, probably some hay piles and stuff like that. So this is all the same. I just had to move everything around, which is a bit of a pain. And then here, this is all the same. This is all the same. This is all the same. And then this is all new. So this whole area we built in this episode. This whole area, and up here as well. However, up here I might change the bathtub trap. I'm not quite sure if I want to make it drop in poison. So you know, you go down through the poison clouds. And the coaster chain lift. I see I've got a little bit of clipping here. But the chain lift I think I might make a little bit higher, so it's got more momentum and more speed, so I can make the coaster go longer. Because I wanted to like come around here, maybe go under here, over here, and go down or something like that. I'm not quite sure yet. But having more speed will be good, because I want to build over this whole section, and currently it's only, you know, going down here. So the more speed the better. That also means the coaster will be longer, and I like long coasters, even though Temple Dash was one of my shortest coasters, but that's fine. So let's jump on and witness all the trick tracks and all that stuff. So you go out the door and then go through here. Obviously it's not all polished yet. I will spend a lot of time on that. I will have to polish the animation of the match falling down as well, because you can see it slightly moving. And I might change these traps of the mouse to snap closer faster. So here that thing starts rotating, and then you fall through the trapdoor, which is really cool. I'm very happy with how that turned out. You go over here. Poor mouse died. Little mouse hole trap there. And then here you've got, it's really cool. I love that chain reaction thingy. Here you've got another trap, but it's not really a trap, but I want to turn this into a trap, so I'm gonna have to do some editing there, so that obviously something happens like a trap. This is the bathtub trap, falls into the poison, and then you go through the poison cloud. As you can see, it's quite smooth, to be honest. And this is kind of where it ends. Whoa. Holy crap. That's spaced out. But so I'll show you from outside how the trap works. So the trap works in 3 pieces, as you can see, and how it's made. It stops here. Then the first thing that happens is this track starts sliding backwards. You see? Now that's done backwards. Then both sides kind of collapse inwards, like that. And then the car falls straight through. And then it like resets itself. It looks like it blends in quite well. But it looks like also, if you're from here, it looks like, oh, there's just some grass here, some clipping. But in all reality, this is just a trap and you don't go straight down to fall off here. Which I quite like. This poor mouse has died from the poison. And you race down here, this water's all tainted and cursed because of the poison. This mouse is drinking it, but he's pretty dead already. And then you go up here, and then you go down to this trap door, like a little secret door into a mouse nest. Some seeds, some apples, and then here is an axe that just cuts you almost in half. Obviously, like there needs to be lots of trees and all that stuff. Maybe some more props around on the sides. And then you've got the actual trap. And the boot just kicks the mouse into the poison. Some more animations will be done here. And then here you've got the ball trap. I might change that so that there's actually a trap that's being activated. Now it's just a piece of scenery, which is not very nice. And the ball comes down from the bathtub. You go down here. Go there, and then you come down. And then that's it. And now the idea is for this trap to go somewhere here. And as you like go past, the netting comes down. You like either nearly miss it or you duck down somewhere here or there. But like, there's like a little exit where the netting comes down and you just duck down right under it, which would be really cool. So that might mean I have to like place it somewhere like this, where it comes to the side and then it ducks down just below and then goes off. I don't know. I have to have a think about it. I might change the layout of this. I really like this curve here, but I'm not quite happy with the layout at the moment. And obviously the chain lift is gonna be higher, so this all needs to change. But for now, this is what we have. I'm very happy with the way this turned out. In the next episode, we will probably finish the coaster, install some more traps, maybe finish the whole blueprint, depending on how far we get and how long the episodes are. I don't want the episodes to be incredibly long, like last one that was 45 minutes, and it's really hard to like retain your attention watching a video for 45 minutes. So I want them to be a little bit shorter, but we'll see how far we get. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing as well. Thank you all for the lovely comments I've been getting, and I'll see you all in the next creative video where we continue this mousetrap contraption. Get it? Contraption. Ah, okay. Bye bye.